are leaf-like, while dioecious are cylindrical. As to monoecious, mono, and therefore, no, they are hermaphrodites, while the dioecious ones will have a separate sex. No, the monoecious flukes will have two intermediate hosts, dioecious one. As to portal of entry, no, the monoecious will be in the mouth, and the skin is for the dioecious ones. The eggs are described as operculate for the monoecious type, no, both the immature and the non-operculate type as mature. As to their classification of habitation, no, they can be found in the liver, intestine, the lungs, and the blood. As you see here, no, there are different examples of this parasite where you can find this them, no, in the different parts of the body. Now let's go to their nervous system. They do have this so-called nerve ring where it's adjacent, the cerebral ganglion is adjacent. No? This is the mouth and the oral suckers. Below of which is the pharynx. And then this is the lateral longitudinal nerve. So as you see, no, the nerve ring is almost adjacent, not to the oral, the head part, and you'll find also there the cerebral ganglion, which extends laterally as a longitudinal nerve. The excretory system, no, they do have the collecting duct, this flame cell, and this is the excretory bladder, and then the excretory pore. Now, we mentioned earlier, no, as to the reproductive system, they can be hermaphrodite or with separate sex. Now, the female one, no, they have this genital atrium, and then after which, no, you'll find the eggs distributed within the uterus, no, the ovary, the oocyte, the vitelline duct. This is the seminal receptacle, and then the ovary and vitellaria, no. So as mentioned earlier, it can be for the shape, no, can be oval, lobate, or dendritic. No, for males, you see here the genital opening, okay, the serous pouch, the seminal vesicle, followed by the vas deferens, vas efferens, and the testes. Okay. Now, the digestive system is also different for both the monoecious and the dioecious type. So for the monoecious type, the main difference between the two is that they have, no, this blind end. So after the bifurcation, no, from the pharynx to the digestive tract, they have this blind end. But no, for the dioecious type, it reunites. Okay? Okay, now let's go to the stages of development. No? So this is the operculum, as mentioned earlier, which you see or find in a monoecious type of egg. And while for the dioecious type, no, this is actually, no, the embryo of the parasite. The second stage of development is the miracidium. No? The red part is the eye spot at the anterior end. These are the penetration glands, and, no, the non-functional, non-feeding internal structures, and lastly, no, the cilia. So you'll differentiate it, be able to differentiate it from the egg, no, because of the presence of this cilia. So the lifespan of miracidium is not more than 30 minutes, and they are attracted to light. Okay. The next stage of development is the sporosis. So this is a sac-like with opening at the anterior part. And then, no, here, no, you see the embryonic cells that later will develop into the cercaria. And then here, no, are the rhizia. The next stage is the cercaria. Okay. So there are different types, no? There is a simple tail Lopocercus, the microcercus, the fork-tailed, and the keeled-tailed Lopocercus. So they do have the penetration glands, also a non-functional internal structures, no, non-feeding. They are able to swim in water. No, the lifespan is not more than 30 minutes also, and they are also described to be phototoxic. So the SRC, or the stages of development occurs in the snail host. Thus, they are referred to as the intramolluscan development. Okay, the next stage is the Metasarcaria. This is seen in monoecious fluke, and then it develops in the second intermediate host. The Metasarcaria is described as having encysted or encapsulated type, and this serves to be the infective stage to the definitive hosts. Okay, so following that, you will have the next stage, which is the adult. So for example here, the adult Schistosoma manzoni. So it's about, female is larger than male, about 7.2 to 17 millimeter longer. The skin is coarse and trabeculated. The testes have about 6 to 8 large, or the testis is 6 to 8, about 6 to 8, and it's large, ovoid, and in a row. And then the intestinal ceca here, you see they reunite early. So nasa bandang itaas. And the ovary, then reunites to, or as is present at the anterior part to the midpoint. Okay? So for Schistosoma manzoni, the blood flux, the habitat is in the inferior mesenteric veins. This is the host Biomphallaria species. So sa laboratory, you'll find this different snails. Okay? So this is the egg for Schistosoma manzoni. What is diagnostic for this parasite is the presence of this prominent lateral spine, And then the miracidium, is described to be having a sloping shoulder. Okay? So for the eggs of Schistosoma manzoni, the eggs are more likely to be recovered in the stool than in the urine. Okay? We move to the next, Schistosoma hematobium, just the same. Female are larger, and it's larger than manzoni. This time, they will have this fine trabeculated skin, about 4 to 5 testes only, also ovoid and in cluster. While the intestinal ceca, as you see, they reunite late. While the ovary, for the female, is located in the posterior to the midpoint. Now, the habitat of Schistosoma hematobium is the venous plexuses of the urinary bladder, and these are its snail hosts, the bubble snails. Okay. As to eggs, what's diagnostic for Schistosoma hematobium is the presence of this terminal spine, but the miracidium is the same with manzoni. So eggs for hematobium are more likely to be recovered in the urine than in the stool. Okay, next is Schistosoma japonicum, almost same length. And this time, it's really now smooth. So from rough of manzoni to finely to hematobium to smooth to japonicum. Also, they have 6 to 8 large ovoid testes. And the intestinal ceca reunites very late, while the ovary is at the midpoint. And the snail host is the Oncomelania species. Okay? So the eggs is subspherical or oval shape, brownish yellow in color with relatively thick shell. They do have this rudimentary, almost not seen, but that's why it's called rudimentary, rudimentary spine or knob. They have large egg that has thin transparent shell attached no, fecal debris. The miracidium also will have a sloping shoulder. So for Japonicum, no, the eggs are recovered in feces. Okay. So what is COPT? So this is a diagnostic, no, test that can be done in order for us to isolate. Ay, ano nangyari? To isolate, no, the parasite. So the principle behind COPT is that the patient's antibody precipitation reaction to anyway. So the principle of this test, so this is a circumoral precipitation test where the patient's antibody precipitation reaction on a lyophilized or live eggs of schistosome. This is useful in Schistosoma japonicum and Schistosoma manzoni. So you need to have the patient's serum, then the egg suspension, no, and then you incubate it overnight. And if you find the blebs, then you'll have a positive result. Now, in cases that our eggs are not available, the larva or the adults can be used as well. Okay. The other one that can also be used as diagnostic, no, for trematodes is the egg hatching method, where no, you just hatch, no, the egg in the fresh water. Okay. All right. So now we move to the lung flukes, which is represented by Paragonimus westermanni. So the oral and ventral suckers will have similar sizes. They have highly branched vitellaria. No, the intestinal ceca is simple with zigzag appearance, as you see here. And then the testis would have these two irregularly lobed, no, and it's present side by side. You see this, of course, in pulmonary area, in the pulmonary pocket. The first intermediate host is the Antimelania aspirata, and the second intermediate host is the mountain crab. Eggs are broadly ovoid, no? So you observe this under HPO. The operculum is somewhat flattened, and you'll see the yolk cells inside with thickened abopercular part. Okay? So of course, this can be recovered in sputum, in some cases also in feces. Okay? So that's it for the first part of trematodes. And then the second one includes the liver fluke. No? From the lung fluke, we go to the liver fluke. Liver, so therefore hepatica, no? Fasciola hepatica. So this is, they do have moderately freshly leaf shape and dorsofrontally appearance. They have a cephalic cone that is diagnostic here. They do have also vitellaria, the intestinal ceca, and two tandem testes. All are highly dendritic. Okay? And then the skin, no, are with tiny, no, scales. This one. Okay? Now, the first intermediate host, no, is the Limnaeus species, while the second intermediate host is the Nastorium officinale. Now, the definitive host of Fasciola hepatica, so this is the liver, and you see here the parasite. So it can be seen in sheep, cattle, and humans, tends to be, no, an accidental host. The eggs are ovoid or hence egg-shaped. No, they do have a broad operculum at anterior part and the yolk cells in the inside part of, no, the egg of Fasciola hepatica. Next is Clonorchis sinensis. Okay. Now this is described as flat, spatulate shape. No. Parasite. They have a simple intestinal ceca, and the vitelline follicles occupy almost the middle half of the lateral part. They do have two branch testes in tandem as well, and a seminal receptacle. So this is an example of gross specimen of Clonorchis sinensis. Okay? So the shape of the egg is similar to an old-fashioned electric bulb, no? Yung pag ganon. They do have also a prominent operculum that rests on a prominent rim. This is the metacidium, inside the egg. And sometimes, you'll find also this abopercular knob. So the first intermediate host is Bethania species or melanoida species, while the second intermediate host are the freshwater fishes. Next is Opistorchis felineus. No, they have simple intestinal ceca and transversely compressed vitelline follicles at the middle third of the lateral sides. And then they do have this two-lobe testis in oblique, or tangent position at the posterior part. The egg also is described to be an old-fashioned electric bulb. They have the prominent operculum also, and you'll find also the metacidium inside. So almost the same with the Clonorchis sinensis egg. The first intermediate host, almost the same, and the second intermediate host also are the freshwater fishes. Okay? So from the liver fluke, we go to the intestinal flukes, the Pachyolopsis boschi. This is very large, fleshy and ovoid shape. The vitellaria are finely granular, occupying the entire lateral field. They have simple intestinal ceca with indentations. Okay. And then their testes are highly branched and in tandem. Okay? Yan. Here. So, highly branched testes. So, ganito siya, grossly. Okay? And then the egg also is described as ovoid or hence egg shape. They have broad operculum at the attenuated pole. They have disorganized yolk cells inside, almost the same with Fasciola hepatica. The first intermediate host for Boschi is the Segmentina species. The second intermediate hosts are these ones, the water caltrop and the water chestnuts. Okay. Next is Echinostomi locanum. This is elongated with plaque-like scales on skin. The diagnostic is the presence of the circumoral disc, with the collaret spines like this, Ito yun kung nakikita nyo. The vitellaria is medium size at the lateral part and posterior 3 parts of the body. They also have a simple intestinal ceca with two lobe or dumbbell shape in tandem at the posterior part. Testes. The eggs are ovoid, straw-colored. One pole is more attenuated than the other. They may be small, slightly triangular in shape. They do have this operculum type and a disorganized yolk cells inside, often with a big mass of yolk, referred to as a germ ball. So these are the hosts, The first intermediate hosts are the snails, Gyralus convexuluscus, maybe because of its shape, and the Hippichus umbilicalis. The second intermediate host is the Pila lusonica or yung kohol, and the Bipipara angularis or susung pampang. Next is the heterophyte flukes. So this is the adult in scanner. Its shape is elongated and piriform. They have more attenuate anterior than the posterior part. The skin are with tiny scales. The vitellaria are large with polygonal follicles. The intestinal ceca are simple. And the number of and size of testis makes it diagnostic for this species, for each species, while the egg is almost identical with Clonorchis sinensis. Okay? So this is Heteropis, and this is Metagonimus yokogawai, and Haplorchis yokogawai. Okay? The first intermediate host is the Pyrennelia conica, while the second intermediate hosts are also the freshwater fishes. Okay? So this is the overview of the laboratory of the trematodes, which again you can look review on when you do have your face-to-face lab. Okay? Now I'm just going to post later on the video for the cestodes orientation, the same with the lab the PDF slides. So you can just view it at your own time. But you have to submit as well yung laboratory manual. Okay? So now, let me go to the grade consultation. Well, actually, you have with you already the